Hey everyone, I'm interrupting the start of this video to tell you that I have been wearing Bellissima for the last 7 days. So hang tight, watch the review, and then stick around for the update. Hey everyone, I'm here today to show you a wig by Belle Tress. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Denise, and I'm so glad to have you. All right, guys, so I want to talk a little bit about this cute wig. So this is Bellissima by Belle Tress in the color chocolate with caramel. All right, let's get some focus on this tag. There you go. This is such a cute wig. Oh my gosh, and super comfortable. So in this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about the wig. I'm going to give you some look at the cap. We're going to talk about the fibers. I'll get outside and I'll show you guys this color in outside light, and I'll give you my impressions. So right off the bat, I want to tell you guys that this is, I think, like the 5th Belle Tress wig that I've tried. I don't have all the reviews posted yet as of when I'm filming this video, but I am really impressed with the comfort of Belle Tress caps. I think they run a little bit big, but they're very comfortable. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Before I do that though, let's just talk about this color, chocolate with caramel. It is such a pretty, warm auburn brunette. It's definitely warm and chocolatey. And it's got some some auburn tones in it. Just want to make sure you guys are getting a good look. This color is so pretty. And then it has a dark root. So there's a look at the root. And it's a bit on the dark side. It's probably a 4 would be my guess. But for my brunettes who love warm, chocolatey shades, this is such a cute color. I really like it. Something else I want to mention about this piece is it is extremely low density and doesn't have any permatease. So very flat to the head, very sleek. And you're not getting a lot of volume out of this one. There's no permatease to give it to you. So I want to make sure I mention that, because for some people, and I'm in that camp, sometimes these shorter, sleek bobs can, when you have a round face like I do, it can be a little bit of a challenge with these kind of pieces, because sometimes I feel like I need a little bit more height and a little bit more volume to balance out my chubby cheeks. But gosh, this is such a cute piece. So let's just take a look at this one all the way around. Just adorable. I messed her up a little bit, I think. You can see she's quite short in the back, and she's got a bit of a razored cut. Yeah, so cute. I definitely was a little nervous to get this one because of the length. I was worried that this one would be a little bit too short for me. I do tend to like bobs that go just a little past my chin. I think that's a little bit more of a flattering style for my face shape, but quite honestly, I love this. I think it's so cute. I love kind of the razored edges. I love that there's just a little subtle layering in here, if you can see that, which I think makes the fact that it's so low density, it balances that out a little bit. One of the things that I have noticed with this piece is it really does like to hang in the face, as you can see. I'm doing this a lot. So definitely I think the bangs are gonna need a little bit of training, and I definitely think that steam would be a good option for that. Just trying to steam this part up just a little bit. Something I want to talk about though is the knotting in Belle Tress wigs. The knotting in Belle Tress wigs can be a little bit knotty, for lack of a better way to describe it. And sometimes you can really see those knots, and that can be a real challenge, especially if you're super sensitive to that. So let's just take a look at this lace front here. I don't want to pull it off my head. I don't have it adhered, so that I can demonstrate for you what I'm talking about. Do you see what I mean? Their knots are just a little thick. And so obviously that's visible. Let's walk back a little bit because I'm pretty close. I don't know if that blurs out or how that goes, but you know, from a decent distance, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's definitely something to keep in mind with these wigs. It's not an issue if you're going to wear Bellissima the way she comes, because she hangs down enough that you don't see those knots. Gotta fix whatever's going on there. And for my bang girls, if you were to cut a bang in this, then there's no issue with that whatsoever. But I want to point that out because I have noticed that in a number of the Belle Tress wigs that I've tried. And so it's kind of not my favorite thing. I think, quite frankly, I think Belle Tress can do better. But it could also be, well, you know, I was going to say it could be these heat-friendly fibers, because keep in mind that this is an HD wig, and a heat-friendly, heat-defiant wig, but Raquel Welch makes heat-friendly wigs, and their lace fronts are phenomenal, and the knotting is phenomenal. So I really don't know what it is. But let's just take a look at this cap so that we can keep this video moving. All right, so you've got your lace front and a mono part, and the rest is wefted. You have nice soft ear tabs right here, and nice soft extended nape, pull adjusters, which I'm not a fan of on any wig that's ever had them. I just really wish wig companies would do away with them. I don't know if they're cheaper or why people use them. There's always the option to put a stitch in them to hold. So one of the things I struggle with these pull adjusters is they don't like to stay. I can pull to tighten it, but as I wear the wig, they slowly slide their way back out. So I've been told just a quick little stitch with a needle and thread will fix that. And quite honestly, I can sew buttons on, so I can probably do that. I just have never gotten around to it. Other than that, it's, you know, a pretty basic cap. Something I have noticed about Belle Tress lace front, it's just a little bit thick, and it's a little scratchy. So if you're really sensitive to those kinds of things, keep that in mind. It doesn't bother me, but I don't have extreme sensitivity to the lace features on wigs. I've been asked that question before by sisters, wig sisters, who ask, you know, if a certain lace front bothers me. They really don't. I'm not that sensitive. And I adhere all of my wigs with It Stays, and that helps a ton, because basically I put It Stays here, I tack the lace down, and then it doesn't move. And if it's not moving, it's not giving any irritation, if that makes sense. It's just my favorite way to adhere my wigs. Something else just real quick to talk about is, you know, it is quite low density. I mean, honestly, I can feel the cap really well just touching my head. I don't think there's any risk of seeing the wefting in a wind. And the reason I say that is because of the color of the cap. So they use a black or super dark brown cap. And with the darkness of the hair, I think that will prevent that from being a problem. So overall, my impression is this is super comfortable. I have not much extra cap up here. I usually get a lot of extra cap in wigs, and there is extra cap, but it doesn't get bulky on me, which I really like. I think I could tighten this in just a little bit. My circumference is 22 inches, and that's average, and I could tighten this. So I'd say average large will fit these. There's a lot of stretch in them. If you're petite, you're gonna have some extra room in the cap, you know, so it may feel a little big on you, but I would say solidly average to average large, you're good to go. I'm very petite over the top of my head, bordering on child size, and these are fine for me. I'm used to the extra cap though. And quick mention of these heat-friendly fibers. I know a lot of people are afraid to try HD wigs, and I get it. I fully get it. I really like Belle Tress fibers. I am not a huge fan of Raquel Welch heat-friendly fibers. I think they feel odd. They just have this odd feeling to them. I love the way Belle Tress fibers feel. Absolutely love them. I have Lady Latte. I love Lady Latte. I have a few videos in my library of that one because I did a Lady Latte experiment about a year ago, maybe not quite, and I wanted to see how those fibers wore, so I wore Lady Latte a number of times. I loved that wig. I still love that wig. The ends, toward the end, and I wore her about 25 times when I did my final update, were starting to get a little frayed and a little crunchy. And that's what can happen with heat-friendly wigs, but barely. I mean, honestly, the rest of her wore beautifully. I think part of the reason why that happened is I play with it all the time because I love these fibers, so I touch them a lot. And I'm an ear tucker, and I tucked Lady Latte a lot as well. And so I think that contributed to it. But the beautiful thing is you can just take heat to these heat-friendly wigs and you can fix that, especially these straight ones, because heat isn't going to take any curl out because there's no curl in them. I am still a little hesitant. I do have Kona by Belle Tress. I'm a little hesitant to ever wear that one a lot because if it starts to get frayed or the fibers start to wear, heat's going to take the curl out, you know? And so I still haven't rectified that. You know, I'm only a little over a year into my wig wearing journey, but I would say I am not nervous at all at this point to buy any Belle Tress straight wigs that are bob length. I'm just not. I think the fibers feel amazing. They're soft, they're silky. I just love them. So if you are watching this video, you're afraid to try, you know, Bellissima or Lady Latte or any of the other straight bob wigs because of the heat-friendly fibers, I would just tell you, I don't think that fear is as warranted as we think it is. I was with you in that. I was avoiding them constantly, but I just haven't had that experience. I don't think they're wearing poorly at all. So I give this wig 2 thumbs up so far. I like the fibers. I like the way the cap fits. I love the density. It's so realistic. There is no poof to this wig. So if you need poof, if you need permatease, you're not getting that in this one. I think you can take a little steam to her and get some lift in the front, maybe a little bit of lift right here, but you're not going to get any kind of poof out of it, which is a lot of you are going to like. She's very tuckable. The coverage is really good. I've been messing with her, so let me get this exactly where she's supposed to be. So you've got my bio hair all right here. It blends so well with this color. The ear tabs go right to the top of my ear. So the coverage is really, really good on this on me. So I'm a fan. I like it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This is out of the box. I did nothing to her. This is completely out of the box. So there's no out of the box in this one because I didn't have to do anything. I'll get outside though so you can see this color. Really pretty color. Yeah. Thanks for watching, you guys. Stick around for the outside. All right, here is chocolate with caramel outside. Such a pretty color. We actually have sun out here today. It has been so gloomy. Take a look at that root. It's a really dark root, and quite frankly, Belle Tress roots are often really dark for these brunettes. That can be a challenge, and I think you need to be aware of it. Otherwise, this color is amazing. I absolutely love this color. Let's go over here in front of a white background so you can get some different contrast. I don't know, what do you think? I really like it. Really, really like it. Make sure I got some good focus going on. All right. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for sticking around to see the outside look of the color. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. I really love making these videos, and I try to do a lot of variety. I also do tips and tricks. I do different colors, lengths, curly, straight, and I take requests. So anything that you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll do my best to do that for you. Thanks, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys, I'm back with an update. So ever since I filmed this review, I just loved Bellissima so much. So I have been wearing her now for the past 7 days. I wore Bellissima once before I filmed the review. So this Bellissima has been worn 8 times, 7 in the past 7 days. I am so in love with this wig. I can't even tell you. First of all, you can see that she's laying a little bit different. I think she was hanging a little more in my face. That's just a product of wearing her. I haven't really done anything to her. I just, do this a lot, and that has gotten her more side swept. Second of all, I added a little bit of just translucent face powder to the root. And it just gave it a bit more of a realistic look, which I really, really like. And so I plan to potentially put some scar tape in there or to do a little bit more, but I think it made a huge difference in how natural that parting looks. All right, so an update on some things that I've noticed that I wouldn't have been able to tell you in the video had I not worn her. First of all, this cap is big. Belle Tress caps just are big. If you are, average large, then Belle Tress is gonna fit you great. I do have to tighten them, but beyond that, I get a lot of cap up here, but when I touch the back of my head, I just feel the cap buckling. I have so much extra room in the cap. Now, that said, I don't think it's noticeable. I don't think it doesn't make the wig look funny. It doesn't make the hair look funny. So from a visual standpoint, it's not an issue. I just want to tell you guys, because I know I have a lot of sisters who have very petite measurements like I do over the top of their head, and you're going to have a lot of extra cap in this. And that's all going to be personal preference, whether you can deal with that or not. But I did feel the need to tell you guys because I can feel it. One thing though that this cap being big on me does is it makes this wig so comfortable all day. I barely feel it on my head. I mean, I guess it's not realistic to ever say you don't feel a wig, but I wore headbands or hats for years to hide my hair loss. So I've always had something on my head for a long time. So having something on my head isn't an issue. It's just so light on my head. It doesn't squeeze it. And because it stays, having a bigger cap really is no big deal because it basically cements it to the front of my head and then it's not going anywhere. So I just wanted to point that out. Something else that I've noticed, I feel like even though I adhere it with its stays, I feel like I can feel the lace lifting ever so slightly right here. That's not going to be an issue though, because what I'm going to do is I am going to trim the lace. Hang tight. I'm going to grab a wig. So I have done this with my Jameson. I've actually done it with a couple of wigs now, and it works so well. So I take a scalloped, it's a scalloped edge. I'm forgetting what the scissors are called that you use. Let me grab those too. These kind of scissors. The name is escaping me. And they are great for cutting the lace front on wigs because they will prevent fraying. So what I'm going to do is I think I've done this on video before, but now I can't remember which review I did it on. And so this is really hard to get on camera because, to hold it up in the air. So I'm just going to demonstrate it, but I'm not going to do it. Essentially, you just take this and you cut along the edge of the lace ever so slightly. It's so hard to do, guys, if you don't have a table and you're just holding it up. And just ever so slightly. It's nerve-wracking at first, but if you go slow and you just cut a little bit, it really doesn't take much to make a difference, and it's so easy to do. And I have done this now in probably 3 or 4 wigs. I never ever thought about cutting the lace front because these come ready to wear. But I just sometimes notice that I can either see them because I accidentally get makeup on them, or they just leave a line of demarcation sometimes because of how I adhere them maybe. But I'm going to do that with this one. So I know this review is already long enough, so that's all. I just wanted to give you an update. She hasn't been washed yet. I'm going to hold off on washing her probably for at least a few more wears. I don't really think she needs it. I love it. I love this wig. It's so comfortable. The fibers feel great. They're wearing fantastic. So honestly, I just really thought you guys should have an update because, I review wigs oftentimes that I wouldn't normally wear. So this is one I love and I will wear and I am wearing. So there you go. There's an update. I'll come back and give you an update after many, many more wears in a separate video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Sorry about the length.